بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين.
About peace treaties. We are not allowed to make peace treaties with kafirs unless we have an Islamic state. We can't make peace treaties when we have no land, and no land which we have only the Islamic authority. The Rasulullah ﷺ, once he made a peace treaty, he made a peace treaty with Quraysh. It was for Quraysh and her allies, and Muhammad ﷺ and his allies. So if Quraysh or her allies disturb Rasulullah ﷺ and his allies, or any one of his allies, then the treaty is banned. And as you said, they made the treaty for 10 years. But after 2 years, the allies of Quraysh tricked and killed some of the allies of Rasulullah ﷺ. Then Rasulullah ﷺ, he moved towards Mecca, and he took Mecca without a warning. People who go into peace treaties with Muslims and they go back in their peace treaty, Muslims should go and fight them without a warning. And in fact, when one of the Sahaba sent them a warning, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Jibreel to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to tell them, stop his message from reaching Quraysh. And we know the story of Hatib ibn Abi Balta'a radiallahu anhu. So those who break in their promises with the Muslims, we are not allowed to carry on with the treaty. We must get rid of them, and we must control their land. With regard to our situation, we do not have one Muslim country. We do not have one Muslim country. So we can immigrate to this country and we say we are protected because we are Muslims. Not because I'm a Pakistani, or because I'm Saudi, or because I'm Qatari. Because I am a Muslim. I am protected because I am a Muslim. Unless this situation occur, we are in fitna, that there is somebody else is obeyed other than Allah. And Allah said the definition for that, وَقَاتِلُوهُمْ حَتَّى لَا تَكُونَ فِتْنَةً وَيَكُونَ الدِّينُ كُلُّهُ لِلَّهِ. Unanimously by the ulama, say ulama of tafsir, fitna means shirk. Allah said, fight them until there is no fitna. Not keep quiet them until there is no fitna, or work for them until there is no fitna, or do anything other than fighting. And fight them until when? Until the whole of the religion is for Allah. That means if there is some country have riba, we have to fight this country, those who are protect riba, until there is no riba. Fight. And the disease which we have in the Ummah now is actually the weakness, and there is evil of kafirs everywhere. You can see the evil of kafirs in Pakistan, in Saudi Arabia. When you go there and you see the riba banks, you go there and you see in the land of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you see people are selling songs, and they are making the flags of the kafirs everywhere. And if a Muslim killed a fasiq kafir, he gets killed for it, and it's haram. It is kufr. You see the laws, and you see the laws of the financial and commercial thing are all imported from kafir people. Then the religion is not for Allah. And you see the ulama of the Gulf said, if you don't have a visa, you are not allowed to make umrah. As if Allah accepts umrah when you have a visa. And that means that it's really funny. It's really funny thing. We can't make peace treaties when our Muslims brother in Algeria and Egypt and Bosnia and Kashmir are getting raped. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he had a peace treaty with Banu Nadir. And when they took the Banu Kinaka, and when one of them have one of them have insulted one of the Muslim women, he just pinned her dress into her back. So when the woman stood up, the people could see her aura. Then people were laughing at her in the market, the Jews. So one Muslim killed him. So the Jews go around him and he killed the Muslim. Then Rasulullah said, Wallahi la yusakinuna abadan. by Allah, they will never stay with us. They had a peace treaty. He kicked them all out. When it comes to honor of Muslims, how can we make peace treaties and our sister getting raped in prison? And our brothers are getting raped, not getting tortured, raped by homosexuals inside prison. We can't make a peace treaty. It's something which we don't owe. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, you be patient against your rulers even if they take your money and they whip their back, because this is your right, and I'm ordering you to forget about your right because of my right. I want the Ummah to be one nation. So if the ruler takes your own right, you have to be patient. But if the ruler takes Allah's right, we can't be patient. We have to fight. We wait for our right to be taken because it is a form of jihad. That we sacrifice our money, we sacrifice our freedom, we sacrifice our land because of this bad ruler. But once a ruler starts taking one single right of Allah, then he's a kafir. Like he say, I'm not ruling by Allah's law, or I'm imposing my own law, I'm protecting it, I'm making a way of living, colleges, you will learn there, and I force it on you, and if you want to be ruled by Allah's law, I will punish you, I will kill you. This is kufr above kufr above kufr above kufr above kufr. And after all that, he said, the ulama said, but this is Islam. This is even the biggest kufr, calling the kufr is Islam. So we can't. We have to have one Islamic state. So we say, oh brothers, oh you are oppressed anywhere, come. This is a land of Islam. Unless there is a land of Islam, what treaty can we make? How can we fight the Jews to liberate Jerusalem when we cannot give our back to King Hussein or President of Egypt or the tyrants of the peninsula? How can we fight the Jews when we have even much worse Jews in our country? Most of the brothers who are going to fight Israel, they get killed in the border by the Egyptian regime, by the Jordanian regime, and by every regime who's the Syrian regime. Most of the fighters, they just hoping that they can reach Israel to fight. They can't reach. They get killed before they go there. So what peace treaty can we make? For what purpose? To teach people some about Islam? It's not the way. It's not Islamically, and it's not logic, and has proven even bad. How many peace was there in the peninsula, and when there was a threat from Saddam Hussein, how many billions of pounds were spent in weapons, just sweet money to be given to the West, and when they needed that weapon to fight Saddam Hussein, they had to get some women to use the weapon, because their men are even more coward than the women. So what peace treaty has made to our country, rather than more humiliation? I think Dawah now, by tape and by leaflet, and we have to do obligations of Allah. وَأَعِدُّوا, it's an order, prepare. مَا اسْتَطَعْتُم مِّن قُوَّةٍ, whatever you decide, whatever you can of power. And then people will say, well, power is everything. No, power is not everything. Rasulullah ﷺ have explained the hadith, most surely power is shooting, most surely power is shooting, most surely power is shooting. أَلَا إِنَّ الْقُوَّةَ الرَّمِي أَلَا إِنَّ الْقُوَّةَ الرَّمِي أَلَا إِنَّ الْقُوَّةَ الرَّمِي. So before we make any peace treaty, we must be a people who can protect these treaties. We must have some sort of capabilities and some dignities, and we don't compromise. Peace treaty, okay, for those who want to make peace treaty. How many times these Westerners have made peace treaties with us? They made a peace treaty for when Salah ad-Din kicked them out, and after 1 month from Salah ad-Din, when they came back and they took the lands of Muslims. What peace treaty? When the Jews had a peace treaty with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ka'b ibn al-Ashraf, and he would start writing some poetry against Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his wives. They had a peace treaty. He was writing some things like Salman Rushdie. What did Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said? Peace treaty is going on. He sent them somebody to chop his neck. And then they said, oh Muhammad, we have treaty. He said, no, we don't have treaty. This kind of treaties, you can swallow it. When you have treaty, you respect the treaties. So treaties, if the if they break the treaties by a say, or by protecting somebody who is against Islam, or by even saying something against Islam, we fight them, even with the stones. We are not responsible for the result. We are responsible for our effort. Result is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the damage which is happening now, that people, everybody knows that Muslims are only good at earning money and play with the meters or something, this is not right. Muslims should be known as the soldiers of Allah, who nobody shall take liberty with them. They are the followers of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When they live as kings, and when they die kings. Because this is what Allah writes for us. Treaties, when we can support the treaties. When we talk, people listen. Not when we shout, people ignore us. And you've seen, nobody was interested about Bosnia unless they carried a weapon and they made some sound. And peace treaty there, I must say that it is imposed on Muslims. There is none of their choice. Tell them simply, because you can't have any food, we surround in your country and you're going to be starving to death. The right answer for that no, you're going to starve us to death and we're going to get our food from your stores. This is the right Islamic answer for that. And we are fighting, we are not even stopping even at Serbia. We're going and going and going. If we get killed, mashallah, it's Jannah. If we are not getting killed, that means you are getting killed. And as simple as that. We don't compromise. Victory is from Allah. Humiliation is from us. And we must enjoy the dignity of Islam. We must enjoy the dignity of Islam. We earned with Islam from the Sahaba. From the Sahaba. They gave us a proper religion, inherited with a proper dignity, with the good. Wallahi, after some battles with the Serbs, the brothers used to go there at the next hills, thinking that we're going to have too much of a problem. We go there and find them empty. Nobody there. After they have been killed viciously. After they have seen the brothers jumping into their bunkers. They can't. Allah then, at this moment, then Allah terrify them. Some of them, they used to write in the top of the bunkers, kill us but don't wake us up. Because they are so afraid to see the sword. So peace treaties are the wrong language now for Muslims. Muslims now, they should have fighting treaties. They had enough peace treaties. Let them now have some fighting treaties. So when the people, when they go again and they make a peace treaty, then people will be very anxious and they say, yes, it's a good chance. But peace treaty after the peace treaty and war is not worth it, the ink which is written on them. When these people decide to kill or to deceive or to change their minds, they don't wait 1 second. Once they know they can't do it, you can swallow whatever peace treaty you had. History is proven. So it needs a lot of work before we can talk about peace treaty. First, to have an Islamic state. Second, to have a proper Muslims who, when they say peace, they mean they can protect. It means they can protect the peace, and nobody is thinking to break the peace treaty with them. But now you make hundreds, thousands of peace treaty, and if they break it up, if they use the time until they build up their forces and they break it up, whom are you going to complain to? Anybody will complain to him, he will make a fuss, make a joke, and they will start playing cool on us. It's the wrong time to make peace treaty with kafirs. They have to have the message and the language, the old language of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, until they are a bit aware of what peace or what treaties is about. Allah Ta'ala a'lam. But I can understand this from the Sunnah and from the Quran, because Allah said subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَإِنْ نَكَثُوا أَيْمَانَهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ عَهْدِهِمْ فَقَاتِلُوا أَئِمَّةَ الْكُفْرِ إِنَّهُمْ لَا أَيْمَانَ لَهُمْ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَنْتَهُونَ. And when they go back in their words and their treaties, and they have already gone back many times, then Allah said, don't go in another treaty. He said, go and fight them. They are the imams of kufr, and get rid of them. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَنْتَهُونَ.